Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. We're getting ready to set up Paycheck 2, but before I can set up Paycheck 2, I am setting up Paycheck 1. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm excited to have you here. I love doing paycheck to paycheck budgeting. I think it's the best way to budget your actual money at the actual time you actually get it and make sure you stay on track so you can plan for the future. My other favorite is the monthly budget. And weekly check-ins are great for spending categories only, not necessarily checking on everything with bills and spending. So, okay, so let's dive into the budget here. I am doing things a little bit early. I'll be out of town for a lot of this, so I'm just doing it ahead of time. I pretty much know my numbers. They don't really change very much, so I can just set it up and go and not really think too much about it and allow the transactions to happen when they do. And it'll all come out in the wash in the end. So there you go. So what we are doing here is I have no other income that came in. So there we go. And I need to total these streams of income. So the first one is military retirement, second is VA disability. My son pays us rent, and then we get 2 pennies on average every month from our credit union and bank account. And then what I balance forward from June into July to cover some things that were happening in July that needed to be paid with June's money. And then other, nothing. So nothing changed here. We'll double check the numbers, make sure I didn't make a mistake in my math, and let's total this up. Okay, so my math is correct. We do have still $5,221.71 that came in, and that was what we're still working with. I wonder if I got all the tithes. Let me check my calendar here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yes, I did get all 4 tithes coming in. I just forgot to check it here. I'm still waiting on HelloFresh, which should be tomorrow, and my Geico, which should also be tomorrow. That did go up by $3 or something, but I'll check those off later and make sure the numbers are correct tomorrow. But with you guys, I'm going to pretend they actually came through. I'm not spending today or tomorrow, at least not out of the checking account, because this is my checking account. This is how I track my checking account. So I can make sure that we're staying on track. Here I have some numbers. So I went to my weekly check-in and I wrote down what week 1 and week 2 were, and then the total for grocery household. And then I did the same for restaurants, miscellaneous, gasoline, copay, and unbudgeted. And so I kind of have a total right here already set up. So we're going to take those exact numbers and I'm going to go ahead and put them over here. I was over budget by $36.23 for grocery household. I just was stocking up too soon on a lot of things. I am under budget for restaurants for Paycheck 1, and that is $197.30. And then miscellaneous, I am under budget. Praise the Lord. Finally, getting things a little under control, $145.79. And then gasoline, pretty much know what our gas is going to look like most of the time. So that was $93.50. Always leave enough of a buffer in that to make sure that I don't, that I can account for inflation and stuff like that and gas prices going up. Copay, spent a total of $24.99, and then unbudgeted. I'm going to go ahead and leave in my unbudgeted and take it out of the budget of the checking account. If I feel like I shouldn't leave it in the budget and just take it from savings, then I will make that decision later. But for right now, I'm leaving it here, and I can always replenish my checking account with savings. So if I need to make that adjustment. Now, the spending categories here that you see, I have not paid. They're sitting on the credit card. They're going to sit there until I know what Paycheck 2 looks like, and that's what we're going to discover today. If I feel like that's going to be completely negative, then I'm going to figure out where to go next. And it may be where one of these, it may be that I pay Paycheck 1 with Paycheck 2's money, but the overage in Paycheck 2 will be paid with Paycheck 3. So I'm actually still paying it within 2 weeks of the charges, but not necessarily in the same paycheck period. So when we did the budget last time, I was negative $516.53. Pretty sure that's going to be the same. Let me total these numbers again real quick and make sure what I estimated over here on my notes is the same. Okay, they are. So I did go under this number, but not enough to make this number be a huge significance. So let's see what I have here. $1,221.68. All right. Still negative. Let's see how much negative we are. I'm going to remove this so I can put the new negative number here. All right, so we had $5,212.71, and we're going to subtract down here the $4,469.27, and then minus the $1,221.68. Now, what happened with Paycheck 1, it was a 2 full week paycheck period in the middle of the year here in July, and the way the dates had shifted, where my husband gets paid on the 1st of every month, and then there was a full 2 weeks before the next paycheck period. It really kind of shifted things for us, and most of our bills came out all in Paycheck 1, not leaving a lot of room for spending. Normally, because he does get paid at the first of the month, every month with government checks, it doesn't affect, and we always have room for spending. This time we did not. So let's see what our total is. We are at negative $478.24. There we go. Handwriting sloppy. I do apologize for that. So that is our negative. We're going to balance that negative over, and let's see if I can take it out of the budget when the paycheck comes in and just pay the first 2 weeks. I think that's how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to delay it until Paycheck 3. Now, Paycheck 3, we barely or have no bills attached to it, and it's a full paycheck. So that is going to cover all the spending that is necessary in the other 2 paychecks. Plus, part of the time we're paying for stuff that is going to be on vacation out of savings, and I have that tracked separately on a different piece of paper. And so because of that, I am not too worried about paying the credit card back. So, and I forgot to fill this out. So income type, we're going to do balance, forward, salary, and then other. And this time we're balancing forward a negative, because it's got to get paid, $478.24. That's that I need to borrow from Paycheck 2 to cover Paycheck 1, and that's why that's there. Salary is always $2,500, and I don't know why I can't remember this number. I write it every week. $52.36. There we go. I budget 0 for other. That way, when some money comes in, whether it's a refund, whether we're given money or whatever, I can put it in the actuals. This is just us estimating for right now. So let's go ahead and total the estimation. I'm going to start with the larger number, $2,552.36. I'm going to subtract that $478.24, and we have $2,074.12 to work with. All right, now you're watching this in real time. I have not pre-done this. I'm going to step off here, and I'm going to go ahead and write this up, and I'll be right back as far as what fixed and what's variable. and we'll go over the numbers in just a second. Okay, I'm back. So I have everything written down here. I love how there's lines and I still go to angle. You notice that when you write? I do. But I have everything written down here. We're going to go over the numbers. So Roth IRA here for me is me putting into savings for a Roth IRA, my Roth IRA for 2024. I've already maxed out 2023. I always do it at the beginning of the year and save it from the previous year. Just how it's worked out for us, and I put $171 a month or a paycheck in, and there's an average of 3 paychecks a month, and then a couple of extra checks for every other Friday throughout the year. And then two of the last 2 paychecks of the year, I'll put 172 in 2 different times. And that'll even out to $6,500, and I'll have everything before January 1st, and I can start again next year. So yeah, our future next 2 or 3 years is going to change pretty drastically, just because the contract that my husband's working under is going to be coming to an end, and he will look for a new job and we will go from there, but it's kind of where we're at right now. So the next thing I have is AT&T. This is 2 cell phones that we're paying $15 a month, so it's $30. $261.86 is the amount that we're paying this month, plus 4 phones for service on top of the $30 that we are for my son's phones. And I'm considering getting my phone upgraded. I don't know yet. It's not working to the best of abilities, so yeah, I don't know what to do. Electric is this month $152. It's getting hot. 84. And then tithe is $256 to our church. There we go. And then Discovery Plus is $6.99. And life insurance is $87.56. I have my numbers off to the side. I couldn't find it. And then Vivint is $65.82. It's our home security system. USCC. Sorry about that. My battery died and I had to replace the battery on my camera, so I left off here. It's my husband's charge. Let's see, $39.17. There we go. And then Dr. Odell, which is our chiropractor. We're only seeing him once this month, and it's $70. And then Apple.com, that's my storage, $2.99. I used to call this iTunes when I realized later that it's not even iTunes I'm paying for, it's Apple. So storage. HelloFresh, we skipped a couple, so we saved money there. It was $69.93. We just didn't want food delivered to our house before we wanted it to, or while we were gone. So the week before we left and the week after we left, we're not having it. We'll have it when it's time. So anyways, so this is the fixed expenses. We know the amounts for these. And then our variable is always grocery household. Restaurants. Miscellaneous. Gasoline. Copay. And unbudgeted. And if I forget anything, a bill or something that pops in, I can always add it here under variable and it should be fine. I don't have my budget. I just realized I don't have the budget for, so this is going to be 2 full weeks. I can figure this out. So I have to refer back to these numbers to get the budget amount here. This is 2 full weeks of spending. It's going to be the same over here, but I do need to adjust for what I've actually done and then go from there. So what I'm going to do is I budget 600. Let's see if I can get my calculator on here. 600 for grocery household. And I'm over budget by 36. 23. So that leaves me here, because I balance forward my spending from week to week and paycheck to paycheck. This is what I have for paycheck 2. $563.77. No restaurants. I was supposed to have $240, and I only spent $197.30. And I can add that to paycheck 2's $240 that we'll have, and that will give me a new amount of $282.70. Miscellaneous, I had $240. I spent $145.79, and I can add that to $240. Here we go. So miscellaneous, I'm doing pretty good at $334.21. This will tell me if I can buy stickers or not. So I had $120 for gas. I spent $193.50, and I can add another $120 for this time period, and that gives me $146.50. Again, I'm just balancing over a balance, and because these numbers would equal what I would have paycheck 2, if I'm over and under on my actuals, it adjusts what these numbers are. So I gave myself $60 in copay. I spent, is that where I'm at? Yeah, copay. And I spent $24.99. And I can add another $60 for this time period, and that will give me what I had left over in paycheck 1 and what I am adding for the budget of paycheck 2, which is $95.01. And then unbudgeted is always 0 until I decide to spend something. It's usually me. It's always my fault. Always, always, always. All right, there we go. So these are the numbers that I'm working with for paycheck 2. I've never actually shown how I get this number, but basically that is what is happening here, because I give myself a set number for at the beginning of the month on exactly what I want to be able to spend for my entire groceries for the month, but then I pull out and divide it between paychecks. I don't actually pull it out. I don't use cash, but I separate it out mathematically here on these notes on what it's supposed to look like. That way I can track a little bit easier in my head. I only have X amount of dollars for this paycheck period or this week, and try to stay within that. Doesn't always work, but I do prefer this way. Okay, so now I'm going to go over here, and here we go. Let's total up the fixed, and then I'll total up the variable, and we'll together total up what is the negative number. I'm sure that's going to happen this paycheck period, so let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so I have $1,184.16 for my fixed expenses. That I can definitely cover. 18416. There we go. Got that number in there. And let's go ahead and get the variable expenses. All right, I need $1,422.12 there. To stay within the budget that I had planned. If I do less, that would be amazing. And I can see that happening here just because we will be on vacation, and eating out on vacation and any groceries on vacation will come out of vacation fund. It won't come out of this. So we might not be too bad this paycheck 2 pay period. But I do believe, because I did bring that negative number over, I am going to be paying the balance of week 1 and week 2 of the weekly check-in of spending that I have not spent or paid for yet. So, or at least most of that. I don't know. I have to sit down and really think about that. But let's see what the numbers are, and maybe this will help me make a decision on that. I took out what we were negative last week. I put my husband's salary in. I had $2,074.12. which means this is being covered, what's left over in this time period. And then I subtract out the $1,184.16. And then that leaves me $889.96 for spending, but I need almost double that. So minus $1,422.12. All right, so I'm still roughly carrying $500 over. So I do think it would be a good idea when Paycheck 2 hits to pay for all that spending as well as the difference in what I need. I still have the cash sitting in my checking account that will account for the spending, majority of it, except for this $478.24. So I can pay off the credit card for the first 2 paychecks, or for the first 2 weeks of the month, with part of Paycheck 2, but it's still going to leave me a negative balance. But it's going to allow me to pay the credit card every 2 weeks, and make sure by the time I get to Paycheck 3, I'm not paying like $2,000 or $3,000. I'm just paying what is left that I need to pay off the credit card with. So I'm going to get a little sticky note here as soon as I find them on my desk. There we go. And I'm going to write this 53216, and that is what we are negative here based on the budgeted numbers. And when I get to the actual number, then we will know how much we're over that Paycheck 3 is going to have to cover. Again, I don't think this is going to be a problem. I think 500 of this could actually come out of the trip vacation, because only 1 week is actually going to be part of Paycheck 2 as far as our variable spending. So as long as we have a week of spending, I think we're good. So we may have lucked out this month. I don't know. But that is Paycheck 2. So we have it all set up. We are ready to go. We're ready for our trip. We closed out Paycheck 1. We'll be closing out Paycheck 2 in a couple weeks. So not next week, but the week after. Close to the end of the month, because the last paycheck this month is on the 28th. There's only 4 days after that. And then I'll close out the month and be done with July. I can't believe July. And the end of the month stuff is going to have to wait till August, because I am traveling from GalaxyCon. My oldest and I are traveling, but my youngest son and my husband will be at home. So they're just not going to be with us. So yeah, that is where we're at. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.
As a young girl, it feels we're mine. We played hide and seek for hours, raised our shadows among the pines. So offshore, playful and free, without a care.